All right, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawashi Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and shalom to the elect out there that's pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. This is GMS Precepts. My name is Nazir Kad, and I'm gonna just go straight into the scriptures. I got a scripture in Proverbs, and Lord willing, I'll get some precepts with it. Um, so this is Proverbs 5, verse 15. It says, "Drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well." Okay. Now it says, "Drink waters out of thy own cistern." What is the waters talking about? That's talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Um, knowing who you are, knowing that you're not so-called Negro, Latinos, or Native Americans. All right, knowing that you're not a so-called Puerto Rican or a so-called um, Brazilian or Colombian or Cherokee Indian or African American. All right. Um, knowing that your true identity, knowing the scriptures, knowing basically is all going back to our heritage, man. All right, it's all going back to our heritage. So that waters is representing of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, man. Our true identity, and knowing our true identity and our nationality. Okay, and which is what true wisdom. Okay. Um, so you know what? Real quick, I'll get this now. This is in Second Ezra, just to prove what the waters is referring to. This is Second Ezra 14, verse 47. It says, "For in them is a spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge." Okay, so it's referring to water. The scriptures constantly refer water as what? Knowledge. Okay, and where do you find true knowledge and wisdom and understanding? You find that in the Bible. Okay, all right. So it reads on. It says, "Drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well." Now that means meaning of thy own cistern and thy own well. That means a nationality that was given to us by who they ignorantly call God. All right, our nationality, our heritage, was given to us by Yahawashi Yahawashi. So us as Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're supposed to come back to this, man. This is why the Most High set up men to do so. All right. Now, a prophecy that did take place was that we were going to lose our heritage for not obeying the statutes, laws, and commandments that were given to us. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Okay. This is Jeremiah 17:4. It says, "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." And that's going into that we a stipulation of the Most High giving us these laws, statutes, commandments was if we didn't follow it, if we chose to follow the other nations, guess what was going to happen to us? One of the things that he would do to us as a punishment, he would allow us to lose our identity, lose our heritage. Okay, and that happened, but the Lord is slowly bringing us back to remembrance again. That's why he set up the prophets to do so. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. That's Jeremiah, I believe it's the third chapter. Jeremiah 3:15. It says, "And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." Okay, because the Lord, the Most High, he did that. He always had his men out there to teach his people. All right, he always had his men out there to warn his people. Okay, going back all the way to Adam, he always had his men out there. He always had prophets. He always had a selected, elect group of people out there to go and teach his word and teach his people and warn his people. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. That's in Luke, and then I'll get back to Proverbs. Jumping around here. That's Luke, the first chapter. I'll get that real quick. This is Luke 1. The point's at 70, but I'll start at 69. It says, Luke 1:69, "And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David." Now that horn of salvation is referring to who the people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. That's going into Yahawashi. All right, the Lord, the Most High, raised up Yahawashi as a way of salvation for Israel. It says in it says in the house of his servant David, meaning what, he came from the family line of King David, right? And it reads, it says, as he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. So going all the way back to Adam, the Most High always had his men out there to teach. The Most High always had prophets. So today, in these times, it's no different, because technically, what, we're still in biblical days right now. All right, there's still prophecies that still haven't taken place. Like what, the big prophecy is what, the destruction of America, man. That's biblical, man. The destruction of America by ICBM nuclear missiles is biblical. All right. So back in Proverbs, it says, I read 15 again. It says, drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well. Meaning we're not supposed to go and delve into any other philosophy, man, or so-called worldly wisdom. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm Kemet, or I'm a African American. I'm Latino. No, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to, or I'm Muslim, or I'm any other bullshit man-made religion. All right, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to dwell. We're supposed to drink waters out of thy own cistern. Okay, and that also, and if you want to get a little deeper with it, that's also meaning we're only supposed to listen to the teachers that taught us, man. We're not supposed to go in and hop around in different camps and get knowledge from him and get knowledge from that guy and get knowledge from, no. The Lord only set up a group of men to do that, man. And that's the apostles and elders at GMS. All right. So verse 16 says, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad in rivers of rivers of waters in the streets. So it's saying what? Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad. We know that the fountains is representing the knowledge, right? So it's saying let it be dispersed abroad. How do you disperse it abroad? You teach. You go out there and teach. You make videos. You go out in the highways and byways and go out there and teach. Matter of fact, it says that. It says, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and rivers of waters in the streets, man. And at camp, this past camp on Saturday, the Spirit had us going into one of the things that we're supposed to do is go out there and teach on the highways and byways, man. So this is another scripture proving that we're not supposed to be couch potato Israelites, man. Because what, in essence, you're what, you're putting that candle under that napkin, just like the parable of the candle. All right. All right. So we're supposed to go out there on the highways and byways and teach, man. In the streets, we're supposed to push that knowledge abroad and go out there and to teach. And the number one best way to do that is to go out there on the highways and byways, man. Just like the parable of bidding them to the marriage. We're supposed to go out there in the highways and byways and bid them to the marriage. How do you bid them to the marriage? You tell them about their true nationality. Okay, you tell them about their true heritage, to come back to it and to leave all those false philosophies behind them, man. Okay, so one more verse. It says, this is verse 17, let them be only thine own and not strangers with thee. Right, and what's that going into? That's going into, we're supposed to only teach Israelites, man, because this thing is only for Israelites, man. And it's not only meaning because you do have the Israelite foreigners also. So we're supposed to teach everybody, but the message is only going to go out to the Israelites. The message is only going to hit because you have, as long as you come from the tribes, you might look like a Chinese man, but if your spirit connects with what we're teaching, then you might very well be an Israelite. Okay, but we're not supposed to get a Edomite or a Chinese dude and be like, yeah, all nations can come into this. No, that's not true. Only if you come from that line of Israel. All right. All right. So that's that. Okay. Until the next. Let me read this next verse. It says, verse 18, let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth, man. It says rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Because at one point we knew who we were. We knew our true identity. But just like the scriptures say, I believe that's Thessalonians, that should be a falling away first. In Jeremiah 17, we shall lose our heritage. All right, I'll make you lose your heritage that I gave thee. That's all prophecies going back to Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. What will happen if we don't follow his ways, man? Okay, all right. So that's that. Until the next show, shalom.